Welcome to the You Can Man podcast, episode 87. I'm Josh.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Dave.
And on this week's episode, the You Can Man Christmas Gift Guide 2020.
All right, guys, welcome back to the You Can Man podcast, where we believe what one man can do, you can do as well, but you got to have help from your friends and you got to have the proper know-how. And, you know, it really helps to have the proper tools and some good gifts for Christmas coming up.
Some gear.
Yeah. So now is this our third time doing this?
This is blowing my mind, but it is.
It's a gear guide.
It is. So this is a tradition now, our gift guide. And I'm excited about this one because we've got some non-tool related stuff on our list. And so we're going to get to that. But guys, what has been going on this week?
Coming off a Thanksgiving break, it was great. It was glorious. It was a good vacation. Took a week off and it was fantastic. But I decided on this vacation, I was like, I'm going to paint my porch. And I'm here to tell you, all of this You Can Man spirit, and you can do it. Painting your porch is the worst thing in the world, man. It's the worst thing in the world.
Painting just in general is kind of the worst.
It's just so terrible.
And you're starting with a super dark palette.
Very dark. I think it's cedar. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's cedar. And so you paint it, and then 5 minutes later, it's brown again.
It literally soaks it up.
Yeah, because you paint it, it's white. And I mean, I'm not kidding. 5 minutes later, it's literally brown again. And for a minute, I was like, is that dirt? I thought it was dirt because I'm dumb. But it wasn't dirt. It just soaks up the paint. I'm on coat 4.
Oh.
Fourth coat.
Do you like a primer?
No, that's always the first question from Tim and my wife.
Wait, you didn't?
It's paint and primer. It's paint and primer, which is not, I'm guessing it's not the same thing.
I don't believe in the paint and primer.
Yeah, I just, that's what I've been doing.
You should have killed it.
Probably should have killed it.
Or Zinsser.
But you would have, even then, you probably would have been at 3 coats because you would have primed it and then probably 2 coats of paint on that.
Yeah, but that's standard for painting.
Yeah, I'm on coat 4. I'm probably going to hit it with a 5th coat and then I'll be done.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, it's brutal, but oh my gosh, it looks so much better because, like I said, dark brown cedar.
That was a cave whenever I went back.
It was a cave, and stuck in the 1970s. It's going to be a lot nicer now.
Nice. Put some string lights up.
But I'm over it.
Yeah, painting though. That's cool.
Well, if you'll listen, you're going to listen to next week's episode, which actually we recorded even before this one. We kind of got out of order, but you would have heard me talk about preparing to cook my first Thanksgiving turkey.
How'd it go?
It went great. Other than it's still being frozen, which kind of stressed me out.
Like the day of.
Yeah, it's a very common thing. I put the thing in there on Sunday.
You fried it?
No, in the oven. But okay. I put the turkey. It was a 14-pound turkey. I put it in.
That's a 14-pound bird.
Yeah. I put it in the fridge to thaw on like Sunday early afternoon, really, I think. And that joker was still frozen. So I left it in the package. I put it in a garbage bag. And then I did the cold water thaw method. So we have a utility sink in our laundry room.
That's clutch.
And you just have to, it's a hassle because you got to cycle the water through because you don't want to have it just sit there. You got to have like cycling through the cold water. So every 30 minutes you want to change out. And then I had to put like a 10-pound weight on it to keep it submerged.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
So that worked. I was worried that, I knew stuff is like in it that you got to get out. They'll put the little bag of the innards and stuff that, a lot of people use for
Save
gravy
the neck for
or
me,
whatever.
Clark.
Yeah. And well, it's funny you should mention the neck. So I took out the stuff that's in the little baggie and I just discarded it because I wasn't going to use that. And I was searching for the neck and like, I'm all up in this thing and I couldn't find the neck.
You're like elbow deep in a turkey?
Yeah. I'm like, where's the neck at? And I'm like, I guess this one just didn't come with it. I thought it was like an optional, like some of them do, some of them don't.
Gotta pay for the upgrade.
And I proceeded with shoving that bird with apples and onion and lemon. Now I put that joker on a bed of celery and carrots.
That is fancy.
And then slathered it with some like herb butter.
Nice.
So I
Wow.
like softened butter and then put all these herbs in it. I even like put butter up underneath the skin,
Wow.
which is crazy. Anyhow, turned out great. Cooked the Joker for like 5 hours, and there's the neck. Like when we got it out, so I cooked the neck with it, which I guess is fine. Maybe it gave it
Cousin
more
Eddie.
flavor.
Everybody's still here.
And yeah, it was not dried out. It was good. Everybody liked it. So success.
Good stuff.
I would like to fry one though.
It's way faster.
Yeah.
It's way faster.
Can you not? You can't cook a turkey with a neck on it?
Well, no, you
can't.
can't.
Just
The neck wasn't
typically
on it.
remove
They
it.
just basically shove it up in the
Inside out.
cavity.
Yeah.
So if you want that for whatever people do
For
with
your
that,
dog
I
or
don't know.
for Cousin
I
Eddie.
don't know enough about what you do.
I have
with
no
those
idea what
things.
you said. A bag. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, they have like the innards and stuff that you can use for.
Why do they put
gravy.
the innards in a bag?
Because you
Like
can eat the organs and
they
stuff.
take the organs out of the turkey, they put them in a little plastic bag, and they put it back in the turkey?
Yes.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing I've
That's
ever
so
heard.
weird. Yeah.
It is kind of weird, but that's what they do.
Yep. That's how we do it.
They are catering to hill people right there. That's what they're doing.
I don't know.
Yeah. I did a major project on the old truck, the 72 F100.
Here we go.
This is like a what not to do thing. Well, I mean, I'm glad I did it. Anyway, on YouTube, I get down this rabbit hole. There's a guy called Ammo NYC, I believe is his handle. He is a car detailer. And like the super richest guys you've ever heard of, they'll like call him to come do their
I
cars.
feel like that's a New York City kind of thing.
Yeah, he's all up in that. So like people who have a collection, one guy had a collection of I don't know how many hundreds of cars, half of which were like priceless, like they only made 7 of them and he's got one of them. He was going to sell off his cars and he called this guy because they'd just been sitting in a warehouse for like 30 years. Anyway, this guy walks you through everything to do, and you're like, "Oh man, it looks great. The car looks amazing. It's been sitting under this dust for years." And he tells you everything, and it looks like he's working hard. But anyway, on my truck, I did this 2-stage. I didn't even do the full on like what you can do. I did a 2-stage polish, and then I waxed it. So it was like a 3-step overall. Like had to touch every part of the car. Before that, I did this foam. You can get this like foam cannon for
I've
your
seen
hose.
that.
It's awesome. So like the foam sticks to it and you let it sit and it kind of like pulls like the big dirt off of it. Oh, and then I forgot I used a clay bar, which I'd never used before.
Okay.
I think I wore it out just on the roof of my truck, but I used it on the whole thing anyway. That like pulls the physical debris that you can feel off of the car. And then you do the 1st-stage polish, and then you do the 2nd-stage polish, and then you wash it. I had to wash it again. There's so much dirt, oxidation.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Back up.
go ahead. Sorry.
This truck doesn't have a clear coat on it.
Right.
So what do you?
You can clean
can-
up single stage
you can-
paint.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get down. I mean, I was buffing and like green paint was coming off, but mostly black was coming off because there was so much. This truck had sat on a farm for like 2 years.
Oh, that thing's dirty.
Outside. Anyway, it could probably use a whole nother one of those. All that to say, it only took me like 8 hours. It was terrible.
Yeah, I saw you out there
I
polishing.
I don't recommend it.
Does it
on a
look
super
any
dirty-
different?
Yes, I took before and afters. Now you're not going to be like, "Oh my gosh," when you walk up to it, but I know what it looked like. The hood and the roof were black, and now it's all nice sea pine green, and the water beads up on it.
Nice.
No, it didn't get rid of my engine smoking problem.
Right.
But,
Well, it's all show
but
no
no, it
go.
looks a little better.
It looks pretty, but that was a lot of work.
Okay. Well, that's why those guys charge so much, right?
Yes, that is physical labor.
Those guys charge like thousands of dollars to do that
I'm
jump,
sure,
don't they?
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this gift guide, guys.
do it.
So we each came with, I guess we got like 3 to 5
3 to 5.
each. And we're just going to go around the table and talk about these and why we chose these. So who would like to go first?
I'll start off because I look at this as like, what do I want? Because A, selfish, and B, I'm like, most other guys would enjoy these. And then also, these are the things I'm not going to get for Christmas probably. And then I'll just buy them myself at some point. But my first one, top of the list, because I feel like I always need one. once a month. I'm like, I wish I had one of those. A bench grinder
Yeah.
that can double as a buffer. You can like put buffer wheels on it.
Every old man has a bench grinder.
Yeah,
you ever notice that?
My dad had a bench grinder growing up. I mean, like lawnmower blades, chisels.
I'm genuinely surprised that none of us around this table has.
I have one.
shocked
I've got
that
one.
You don't.
I've got
Okay.
one. I'm a
you
new.
do?
I'm a fairly new owner of a bench grinder. It was one of those things where I was at Home Depot. I was like, all right, this has got to happen. And so I bought a bench grinder.
Did you research bench grinders at all?
Nope,
Or was
I
this
didn't do it.
walk-up? Okay,
I over research things and I'll mull things over for too long. So I was just like, snap decision.
Yeah.
I'm picking it up and I
that's
made it
the
happen.
way to do it. The bench grinder market. Now I know there's like pro guys out there that are like, oh, this is the one. It costs $380, and this is the one you have to have, or $500, or I don't even know how much they cost. There's not a big bench grinder. Like I thought every tool company would have like a play, and some of them like Ryobi. I saw a Ryobi one that's like super, super cheap.
That's
I
mine.
saw a DeWalt one that was like middle of the road. Win brand, W-E-N.
Yeah, I've heard of them, I think.
Home Depot even sells them, but Amazon sells them. It got good reviews. It was like under $100 for a 6-inch. That's kind of the mid-range bench grinder. You can go up to 8-inch. Anyway, that's the one I picked. That's the one I'm putting on my list. At least 5-6 times a year. I wish I had.
It's a staple. It should be a staple in every man's garage. A bench grinder, kind of like a bench vise. Got to have one.
Yep. Yeah, my friend Brandon has one, and so if I ever need one, I just
Hop
go over
over.
to his place. But okay, I'll go next. I think you should have a Leatherman because I've got one. I've had it for years, and a multi-tool Leatherman.
I was gonna say, can it be a knockoff Leatherman?
Yeah.
Or do you need to go Leatherman?
Well, I'll say I used to have a Gerber one, and the pliers, one of the, I don't know, what do you call it? One of the parts of the plier just snapped off one time when I was using this thing. So I was like, well, never buying one of those again.
Gerber's got a lifetime warranty, I believe.
Oh, well,
But Leatherman, I believe they've got
forever
them.
ago.
I mean, they're like I don't know if they are the original, but they're the gold standard.
Yes.
yeah, they're great.
They're the
and
Swiss
so,
Army
and,
of-
and obviously, hopefully this goes without saying, we're going to put this in our show notes. We're going to have all links to all of these things. So you can check that out. But Leatherman, I mean, it's so handy. You got all the typical, like the pocket knife, you got pliers, you've got a couple different kinds of screwdrivers. A lot of them have little scissors, a file,
Can opener.
you name it. It's got all kinds of different stuff. So you cannot go wrong with that.
Now, do you do the next level dad thing and like wear it on you all the time?
I don't.
Next to your cell phone.
Yeah,
on your belt.
I can't do it. So that's where I struggle is like it's just gonna sit in my car and like I'm gonna be in my car if I'm gonna use it, that kind of thing.
I'd be
Like,
okay if you could turn it 90 degrees and go parallel to the belt.
Oh, I'm sure they sell.
They need to do that because then you could be low profile.
Yeah.
Right.
Next to your cell phone.
Right. All right, Dave, go.
All right. So number one on my list. I don't know how many times I have to ask for this thing. Have you ever had something on your list for several years and nobody ever buys it for you? And it's like, hey, folks, 'tis the season. Let's stop being selfish. Let's just buy Dave a laser level.
What he wants.
I mean,
This
how many
has
times
come up so many
How many
times.
times do I have to ask for a laser level?
Well,
Nobody gets
I
it
think
for
we've
me.
had it on the list for the previous 2 years and
the Father's Day.
and the Father's Day gift card.
All right, so hint, everybody in Dave's life, the DeWalt DW088K laser level is on
Is it
Amazon.
is it a green laser?
I don't know if you know what, at this point, I don't care what it is. Like I saw the one, it's on Amazon right now, Cyber Monday deal, because it is Cyber Monday today. Go pick it up. It's like $100. You save
It's a good
$89
deal.
or whatever.
It's a good deal.
And look, Dave needs a laser level.
Apparently, the green laser is easier to see outside.
Yes.
I've heard that.
They
Yep.
even sell special glasses that will
Yes.
dim the real light
Oh.
so that you can really see the line.
Snap.
But yeah, that's $100 for a laser level. That's,
Ain't bad.
That's solid.
Yep.
All right, I'm going next. I have on here something that I recently purchased. It's been a year, I guess, because I got one when we got our new van, which was a year ago. A jump starter.
Yes.
A little portable jump starter. We talked about it on the show before.
Yep.
May have been on another gift guide, but we at least talked about it.
This is one that
And-
goes in your vehicle.
This is one that you just keep in your vehicle. It's in a little pouch. It's about the size of a brick, like
Yep.
a standard brick, maybe a little bigger. And you just keep it in your car, and it stays charged for months, like over 6 months. I've used it. I've run it out to Tim before,
Yep,
just
twice.
to make sure his battery doesn't die while I was trying to crank the Bronco. I've used it on my lawn tractor because that, the battery goes out in
yes.
the backyard. Like I got to push it up the hill to the car. Anyway, it's a big thing. This I saw on Project Farm, which is a great YouTube channel. If you've never seen it, it's tons of fun. Kids even enjoy Project Farm. They test out normal stuff.
Right.
Guy lives on a farm. So he tested out all of these chargers that he got, most of them available on Amazon. I picked the one that was sub $100, reasonable, because it had comparable performance to the really outrageous ones. But
Right.
man, the jump starter pack, clutch.
Yeah, I actually just made that purchase today because I've been meaning to get one for quite a while. You mentioned having to move the riding lawnmower. I've totally had to do that where I had to push the thing
Yeah.
to a car to jump it off or whatever. And I've kept an old battery with like a trickle charger like sitting on my garage floor forever. And that's what I've been using to jump things off. And so
Okay.
now I'm going to be able to get rid of that. And I'll have this one that I can take with me.
Yeah, and they're surprisingly strong. I mean, they've got the advertisements of how many cranking amps they have. I think
Right.
the guy proved that was not even close to the numbers, but it's surprisingly, I mean, Tim, we've gone out to your car and you cranked it, like really cranked it
Oh, yeah.
on it for, a few minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes, 10 or 12 cranks.
Yep.
And it still had juice.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, they're
That's
really
a good thing. It feels like, buy a couple of them for you, for your spouse, or for your
Yes,
kid.
keep 'em in
and
all
then,
your cars.
And then do a dry run. Like, hey, show everybody how to use it because you don't want to be on the side of the road
Great point.
in the middle of the night
Yep.
learning how to use it for the first time out there, right?
And most of these do have, a lot of them have lights on them. And then they got like that. You can do like a SOS light on it and all this.
Do any of them have a hand crank? I want to start my car with a hand crank on my.
Yeah, I think that'd take you a while.
it would take a
They
minute.
used to have steam cars that did that. Also, yeah, these do have, most of them have, you can charge your phone off of.
Oh, of course,
And so
yeah.
on Project Farm, he plugged in, a standard piece of equipment and measured how many hours it could run that device.
Right.
So anyway,
Okay, my next one is a Garmin GPS watch. So, if you've been a listener to You Can Man podcast, you would have known that all of us around this table have gotten into running. Josh is much more the runner than any of us. But for a long time, Josh was like, gotta have the GPS watch because I was claiming these times of what I was running, and it was all based on what my iPhone was telling me.
We're
And
calling some bull on you.
come to find out, it was a little inaccurate. It wasn't that
to be fair,
bad off.
Tim's still faster. I just wanted it to be accurately faster.
Right. So I finally pulled the trigger and got the GPS watch, and I love this thing. Okay.
That's a huge call.
Oh, GPS watch is amazing. They're coming down in price, so they're not like crazy expensive. The one that I have now, I think they've been running sales here and there. And the last price I just saw was like $150, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have the Garmin Instinct, and it does a lot more with hiking. And anyways, I won't bore you with.
But that
all
one's
of
cool
the
because
specs.
it has the breadcrumb feature, which I
Yes.
think is great. If you go off the beaten path
Right.
at all, you can get back to where you were.
Have not used that yet, but highly recommend. I mean, even if you're not like into running and stuff, but even if you're doing like
The day hike
if you're
thing is
remotely into hiking
Yeah.
and stuff like that, you will enjoy this. So get your man a GPS watch. Dave, go.
All right, so next up on my list, I'm going from $100 down to like $20. Listen, the older I get, the colder I get. I don't know what it is, but as I,
Age.
as I age gracefully, I just get colder. Like I feel like I should be in a nursing home, like
Dave's
a little old
like,
lady.
as I go through menopause.
Yeah, I need a shawl. I need a blanket
brittle.
on me. But look, for years, my mouse hand at work, it's
mouse hand.
it's ice cold. I don't know what it is, but like
Well,
your hands
all
up
the
higher.
blood drains out.
Yeah, it's up higher. Maybe it's not up higher than my heart, but anyway, it's elevated. And look,
gravity, man.
I'm a diligent worker, and so I'm on that mouse 24/7, all day long. Anyway, so on Amazon, I'm going back to Amazon. There is all right. So I started this quest. I was looking for a heated mouse. I was like, that's the perfect, just a little bit of heat off the mouse.
Business idea right there.
Well, all you can get is a mouse that's shaped like a blue whale. Okay, so it's a little kid mouse, right? It's really weird, and I'm like,
that's the only heated one.
That's the only heated mouse. When I was looking for
really weird.
that you could buy, it would be weird for me to be using it. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. The next option is to use a glove, and I'm like, well, that's weird. That's like having a back cushion at work. I'm not going to do that.
What about like just an infrared light, like a little desk lamp with
you could do that. Well, but you'd have to go back to like the 1970s with an incandescent bulb, which you can't find
or like
anymore.
a halogen bulb. That would put off some heat.
Something with some heat. What I've found is it's basically a heated bag that you put your mouse inside and your hand goes with it. Basically, you're running your computer inside a bag with your hand in a bag.
That's weird.
And it's all heated.
Did you say Amazon?
It's on Amazon.
Did you mean QVC?
It's on QVC as well. You get 2 for 1.
Okay, that's super weird.
But look,
hey,
I need it.
it's,
I've never been able to pull the trigger because I'm like, number one, is this thing going to catch on fire? And number two, how weird am I going to look? I've seen it for several years. I'm like, I need to get it. I just can't help myself. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to pull the trigger.
You can't do that. I'm going to go ahead.
But my hand it's like an ice cube, man.
I think Tim's got an idea. You need a little halogen lamp that hovers.
No, what I want
adjust the distance.
I remarked on it when I came in here. Tim on the floor has a radiant heater, so it's like the big dome, right? And there's no fan. You can get a small desk heater. It has a fan on it, so it's all loud. I just want a radiant heater, no fan, but I want it to be tiny, hand size, baby glove size.
Somebody on the group solved Dave's problem. There's got to be.
Please do. Please
Totally.
do.
Okay, I'm next. All right, I saw this featured on a recent guys trip I went on, and this rich guy that we camp with, he's always got some new toy that we're all jealous of. He had a Harman Kardon Bluetooth speaker that is the size of, I don't know, like a bowling ball bag or something. I don't know why I think the handle makes me think of a bowling ball bag.
It looked like I made fun of it because I was like, is that your wife's purse?
Right, yeah. I mean, it's got an odd shape, but it's solid. He says it's like water resistant or proof, like pretty good.
It could probably get rained on.
It can get weathered on it. The one I'm looking at is like $184, which that's pricey for a Bluetooth speaker, but the sound.
I mean, the amount of volume.
We're outside and like you can kind of feel the bass and stuff, and it's in a little unit. So anyway, $184, Harman Kardon Onyx Studio 6. Get yourself one.
Okay.
That was a solid piece of equipment.
Okay. My next one we've mentioned before on a recent episode about electrical work. It is a non-contact, well, the one I'm suggesting is also a dual range voltage tester.
Nope, not buying it.
Dave's like no to this, which is ridiculous, but
I don't trust him.
So this one that I am suggesting is made by Klein, which is kind of industry standard when it comes to a lot of electrical tools. And so I have the dual range, which means it can do low voltage as well as regular, household voltage. So it's non-contact. It's in like a pin shape, if you can imagine that. And you can just put this thing on the outside of a wire without touching the bare copper, and it will tell you if something is hot or not. It has lights, it has beeps. You can set it to just have light or the beep. And it's very useful. If you're doing any kind of electrical work, you need one of these things. So get you one.
You should have one. Even Dave.
I'm not going to do it. I'm doing the old straight up voltmeter with the two prongs, stick it into the outlet. This one's hot. My problem is I used one of those recently. It was given to me by my crazy neighbor. And I shouldn't say crazy. It was given to me by my loving neighbor. I tried it out. I needed to test I think it was an outlet. Tested the outlet. It didn't work. Took my voltmeter out, stuck it in there. It's a hot outlet. Now I was like, okay. This thing, the batteries must be dead. I just discarded it or I put it out of my mind after that. 2 days later, I left it sitting there like on the floor or whatever. It starts beeping like randomly. And I was like, at that point, I was like, I'm 100% done with these
I'll
things.
comment on that. Don't skimp on
Yeah,
that tool.
don't buy a Klein. Tim mentioned Klein.
I've thrown out, to be fair to Dave, I've thrown out at least 2 of those that were just off-brand, free with a whatever.
This had no name on it.
And yeah, they run. They're so easy to leave on, so they'll run themselves out after the first time you use them. So anyway,
Yeah,
don't
and
skimp.
the Klein tool one is also rated for like a 3-meter drop.
There you go.
I think is
Okay.
is what it said. So I've dropped the thing before and it works just fine. So,
All right,
Get you a Klein.
all right, Dave. Next,
one more.
So next, third on my list, I think we mentioned possibly doing a rich man gift. So this is my rich man gift.
okay, go ahead.
So, everybody, if you listened early on, Dave is a lover of pocket knives. I love pocket knives. I don't know why I'm speaking in the third
Blade
person.
banter.
Yeah, blade banter. No, not blade banter. I love pocket knives. So on my list, number 3, last but not least, the Liang Ma Lanny Flipper. Okay. Now we're going up in price a little bit here.
Wait, what is it?
This guy is named, I think his name's Liang Ma. It's a Chinese maker, but super, super high end, really nice. The low price of $440.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for this pocket knife. But man, this thing's fantastic. It's like buttery smooth, green micarta handles, super high quality M390 steel. I need this pocket knife. So
And if you're wondering,
if everybody in the UK Man Army wants to go in just together and look, chip in $5 again. Don't be selfish. Let's buy Dave this pocket knife.
and if you go back and listen to, I don't know, I don't have the episode number, but Dave did a few segments,
3-part. It was a 3-part.
segments on bonus segments on pocket knives, and so Dave is very much into that. So if you're wanting to get into pocket knives, go back and listen to those.
I thought you would be well north of 1,000.
You can't look. Part of the reason that I like pocket knives is because look, buying a $400 pocket knife is a terrible thing to do. But it's hard to get in, and you can't spend like an astronomical. Like if you collect
Diminishing
guns,
returns.
you can spend like $25,000 on a firearm.
Sure.
That's insane. Anyway.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm gonna go. Do you want me to do my rich guy one?
Yeah, and I've got a couple more that I'm just gonna quickly throw out before I do mine. But go ahead. And
Okay, I've got one more. I've got one more then.
Like a normal gift?
Yeah, normal's type gift. All right. There is a gentleman, John Acuff. We've mentioned him before. He's motivational speaker, super funny dude. Is into now he writes books on like finishing goals or like setting goals and achieving them and getting to them. I mean, that all sounds great because I'm terrible at that. Some of his methods I've actually applied to specifically running in my life. And I mean, like physically running. I am about to be, I'm like 6 miles away, I think, or 4 miles away from 1,000-mile year with running, which was like last year at this time, I was starting to set that goal for next year, for this 2020 year.
You didn't get to 500 last year, did you?
I'm not sure. I don't think I did.
I don't think because I've been looking it up. I've been tracking it.
So I started setting these goals, and I'm like, wow, how do you even start 1,000 miles? And to some real runners, that's like nothing. But to someone like me, massive. And he actually did that goal himself. John Acuff did the 1,000 miles. And so anyway, I've used a couple of his methods for that. What I'm advertising here, not really advertising because I don't get paid. What I'm saying on the gift guide is he has some courses that you can take. You can buy like just the electronic version of the course. It's like $90-ish or something. And then he's got a course where he'll do like some one-on-one stuff, not one-on-one, one to a group stuff. And you're in a group with him for like $300. And then there's like $1,000 or $2,000 package where he's like your coach one-on-one. Anyway, any of those I think would be a great gift for somebody. Especially, I mean, the money sounds like a lot, but if you want to take on a massive goal, like running 1,000 miles in a year, $90, that's nothing. That's like totally worth it.
You just have to give them that gift in such a way that doesn't say, hey, I think you're lazy.
Yeah, no, it needs to be like, you've had this dream a long time.
Right,
I think this could get you there.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. That's real nice.
No, that's a good one.
What's your rich guy gift?
Rich guy gift. I mean, look, if there's a man in your life and you were to buy him a 350 horsepower 302 Ford engine, crate engine.
To put in his
asking for a
19
friend.
At least, I mean, the three of us around this table would gladly
We all have a vehicle
that
that we could
as a
easily.
gift. So that, I mean, right now, that's at the front of like, if I just had that money to drop, that's where it's going today. So anyway,
What are we talking for a crate
Ford
motor?
crate motor, 350 horsepower. You're in the $4,000 to $5,000 range. It's not astronomical. It ain't cheap.
That's a cheap car, is what that is.
Okay, a couple more before I throw out my rich guy one. A coffee subscription to East Pole Coffee. Shameless plug. We know the owners of this
Humble
coffee
brag.
company here in Atlanta. The best in Atlanta, probably the Southeast.
It's
but-
delicious. I didn't like coffee, and then I started drinking their coffee, and now I like coffee.
Yes, and then one of our gracious sponsors, Alpine Leather Co. Any of their products are amazing, and so I just want to throw them out there with a plug for that. And then running socks. So if you got anybody that's into running, look, man, when I first saw that price tag for running socks, I'm like, I can't do it. I
Just do it,
cannot
man.
do it.
Just do it.
But they're like $15 a pair. I use Features, Feetures. And what is that other brand, Josh, that you
Belega.
Because I have one of those as well.
Belega's good. Those are a little bit cheaper.
I'm wearing some Smart Wool running socks right
Okay.
now.
Those are quality. That's good
Now,
stuff.
you don't need, now you guys probably have a lot of pair, but I, up until just recently, only had 2 pair of running socks. And that's all I used for months. So if you're washing them, you're only running like 3 times a week, you can make it happen. And so I've been doing that. I just bought a one other pair, but if you're into running,
It's one of those
it
things,
makes a difference.
Yeah, the quality, obviously the durability's there, but also it gives you just a little more, what do they even call that? It keeps the viscosity down. Like you're not getting as much
Yeah.
abrasion on your actual feet.
they don't slip as much as what I've noticed.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I worked at the bike shop, I worked with a guy who said you don't want to notice. When you're riding a bike, you don't want to notice your feet, or you don't want to notice
Yes.
like sitting on a seat. You don't want to notice your butt sitting on the like. You want to forget about it. And so it's kind of like that with running. These socks, when you get running socks, you forget about your feet, and so
Yep.
that's kind of the idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good socks, good shoes. Obviously, you're good to go on the running.
All right, my rich guy gift idea would be a saw stop table saw.
Yes. Clutch.
And we've mentioned this.
I
on
don't
the
know
show
what a
before.
saw stop
you've-
table. I don't know what that is.
He's talked about saw stop before. It's
Yeah.
the saw
That's
that-
when I just
it's
you
the
know
saw that won't cut a hot dog.
we have not talked about
So
that.
this is proprietary. They hold the patent on this, and in fact, they've won before. Another major tool company came out and tried to come up with their own, and they lost, and they had to pull the product from the market. So it uses technology to where the table saw will stop immediately upon contact with human skin or something like that. It's like an electrical thing, and it's incredible. I'm surprised you haven't seen that. I mean, it's been around. The technology.
It's not a new technology because I'm going back like way back in the day, and I remember seeing something about. I think it was a medical device that I saw that would when it got to human skin, like for cutting casts off or something like that, it wouldn't cut the skin.
Okay, different technology altogether. This just buries the blade. The blade immediately drops if it comes in contact with human skin. So if your finger ever comes in contact with that table saw blade, you're going to be just fine.
I feel like woodworkers would look down upon that because that kind of. You need good technique, right? to be a good woodworker.
Yeah, I mean, it's there to protect you against mishaps. I mean,
If I was a woodworker and was doing this all the time, I would
Yes. You would
want it.
absolutely buy
It makes good
it.
sense.
Now you're way more likely to get injured by a kickback from a table saw than you are getting cut on the actual blade. I feel.
Yeah.
But man, I would love to have that. These things are like $4,000 if you get like the really nice like outfeed table and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But man, that would be
You're saving
so
your
nice.
livelihood by if that's part of your day to day. You're gonna want to invest in it to invest in yourself.
Yeah, if you lost your finger or multiple fingers to a table saw blade, I mean, what is that worth to you.
I would say that's $4,000 well spent in that
Yes,
case.
for sure. So SawStop,
Or
look
if
into
you're
it.
if you're a surgeon who does woodworking on the side, you're going to want the $4,000 saw stop.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. at that
Well,
point.
if you're a surgeon, that's like nothing.
That's pocket change.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and Josh has the bonus segment for us this week. We'll be right back. Community, craftsmanship, and adventure. Those three words can sum up one of our new show sponsors, Alpine Leather Co. They make handcrafted leather goods right here in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. Now, you guys who are longtime listeners may have heard us talk about the term handcrafted and how it's just kind of tossed around by a lot of companies and doesn't really mean a whole lot. Not so with Alpine Leather Co. In fact, I've been to their shop and watched Nate, one of the owners, make something right in front of my eyes, handcrafted for sure. So if you like high quality, built to last leather goods, then go to their website and check out the amazing products that they're creating at alpineleather.co. And for being a You Can Man listener, we've even got a special promo code for you guys, which will give you 10% off at checkout. Just use the code, no spaces, You Can Man at checkout. And while you're at it, check out their Instagram at Alpine Leather Co. Hi guys, welcome back. Josh has the bonus segment for us. Josh, what you got?
So this time of year, I'm always very interested and perplexed and amazed by Amazon, the company.
How do they make it happen?
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon's everywhere. It's on my TV. It is on my front porch almost every day. So I started, I'm now seeing these vans everywhere. Amazon's got the branded Mercedes-Benz
The
Sprinters.
sprinters that they park in the middle of the street.
Right. They just leave it running. They just, leave the flashers on, make everybody else go around. Anyway, I'm like, where are these vans coming from? How many of them are there? Because they've just appeared all of a sudden over the past couple of years. And then I'm like, okay, and how many packages? So I'm all into this. So I've got a few questions I'm going to ask you guys, and then we're going to talk a little more about it. How many packages, and this is an estimate because they don't disclose their actual numbers, but how many packages will be delivered by Amazon in 2020?
Rapid fire, 50 million.
Okay, I've
And
got
we're-
multiple
and we're-
choice if you want.
We're
Go ahead.
talking all the ones that they pass off to USPS as well, right? Just like how many packages go out?
How many
packages does Amazon deliver?
Send out?
Send
like
out.
If someone orders something off of Amazon.
I feel like it's north of 50 mil. Is it north of 50 mil?
Okay, I've got multiple choice. Here we go. A, 500 million.
Oh, snap.
B, 1 billion. C, 3.5 billion. D, 5.5 billion.
It's got to be 500 million.
C.
C is correct.
How many?
Okay. 3.5 billion.
billion.
That number is that can't be right. That cannot be right. That's half of the world's population.
Now, to be fair, I should have said over 3.5 billion because that's how many they delivered last year.
Hang on, this is Amazon
Can
per
you
year?
imagine 2020?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
And 2020, they're saying all that went up, obviously, because the government basically shut down all the mom and pop businesses and allowed the Walmarts,
Right.
Amazons of the world.
Just to save
keep going.
face, I thought you were saying for the holiday season. Okay, I would have revised my number.
okay.
I never would have gotten
said
to
in-
three. I never would have gotten to 3
said in a
billion.
year.
Okay, I said this year.
That's
and then I
crazy.
said 2020. Okay, so 3.5 billion packages. All right. So the company said it did 3.5 billion in 2019, 3.3 to 3.5 billion. And by comparison, UPS is shipping about 5.2 billion packages and documents. That includes everything like little letters and envelopes
okay.
and stuff. And I think the Postal Service is over 6 billion, but that includes like every little piece of mail. So, but it's still that comparison of Amazon's mostly packages.
Yep.
Right.
3.5 billion. Anyway, pretty insane. So, over the summer, Amazon announced plans to buy 1,800 electric delivery vans from Mercedes in the part of their commitment to lower their carbon footprint. Because apparently, they are lagging behind other people in the tech space on lowering their carbon footprint. So they're trying to get better about that. How many vehicles are estimated right now to be in Amazon's fleet? So this
$3.5 billion.
This doesn't include their courier services. This is Amazon branded vehicles, and doesn't include trailers either, because now they've got like semi-truck trailers. So just how many straight up vehicles are in Amazon's fleet?
That'll be difficult because I don't think that they rolled that out in every single city.
Probably.
Yeah. I think it's only the ones that are around their hubs that they have, right? I don't know. I mean, I could
Yes,
be
there
wrong.
are hubs that operate. There's like 115 hubs or something like that.
All right,
Ballpark,
what are our
like
choices?
maybe like
Sorry,
120.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm waiting on you guys. I have multiple choice. My bad. Here we go. A, 10,000. B, 30,000. C, 50,000. D, 100,000.
I'm going to go D.
B.
B is correct.
Oh, Tim, man. You're
Dang,
killing it
what's
over
up?
there.
2 for 2.
What was B?
So B is 30,000 vehicles. So in 2018, they made an initial purchase. And the first time I saw one of those Mercedes vans, my mind was like, who was the Mercedes sales guy that got to close that deal? Because the initial purchase was 20,000 of those Sprinter vans in their first order in 2018. And that's Amazon branded. They also have so they have 30,000 vehicles. They have another 20,000 trailers that are Amazon branded. They ordered 100,000 new delivery vehicles from Rivian, who's the new fully electric truck company that I believe Ford bought. So they placed a $700 million order with this company. The electric truck startup company expects to start production next year and complete their order by 2030. So over the next 9 years, Amazon's going to put out 100,000 electric trucks as part of a delivery fleet, which puts them, when they get up in that high, now they're up in the UPS range of delivery fleet, apparently. They have also recently purchased, or agreed to purchase, 2,200 heavy-duty Utilimaster walk-in vehicles, so like the UPS style trucks. So they've just recently signed a deal to purchase 2,200 of those. So we'll be seeing more of those in the metro areas. Anyway, they're building up their fleet. They're taking over. All right, last one. How many people are employed by Amazon to deliver their packages in the U.S.? Now, when I say employed by Amazon, I mean I'm including couriers as well. So all the subcontractors that get sent out to deliver packages. So how many total people are delivering Amazon packages right now in the U.S.? A, 25,000. B, 60,000. C, 110,000. Or D, 165,000.
165,000.
I'm going to defer to Tim on this one.
Tim is right again.
Yes.
3 for 3. 165,000 people. So in the U.S., the packages are sent out from 150 domestic delivery stations that employ more than 90,000 people. On top of that, there are more than 800 delivery service partners. So those little courier guys that roll up in their Hyundai Elantra and then race through your neighborhood. There are 75,000 of those folks delivering Amazon packages.
What a horrible company to employ all those people, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
what
and
are
what's
they doing?
crazy is all of their 90,000 people, Amazon has chosen to pay them a $15 minimum wage. So 90,000 people making at least $15 an hour.
Less than 10 years ago, I got an Amazon gift card, and I remember thinking to myself, what am I going to buy on Amazon with a gift card? I was like, all they sell is books.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. Yeah.
So holiday time, Amazon, now you just know. And I mean,
Can't live without
we can
it.
go down another rabbit hole on how much their Prime membership is and how many people have a Prime membership.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Well, that was super interesting. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. Make sure to check out our show notes with all the links to all of these products that we mentioned. And we will catch you guys next time.